Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief keeps you informed about what's happening in Annapolis, Anne Arundel County, and Maryland. Local news, local sports, local events, local opinion, and, of course, local weather. Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief starts now.
Good morning. It's Monday, June 21st, 2021. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief. Yes, the days are getting shorter. We had the summer solstice over the weekend, and now the days will get shorter. Unfortunately, I was out of town this weekend helping my kiddo move up to New York City for her job, so I was unable to make the Juneteenth festival, but I have talked to many who did, and just wow. What a great weekend of celebration. Congrats to Ms. T and her team for a job well done. I can't wait for next year. Well, here we are, Monday, the start of a new week. I suppose we should get into the news, but a word of caution, it does start off with some bad news. So, shall we? All right, never mind. Changed my mind. Here's some great news to start. Yesterday, there were 0 deaths due to COVID-19 reported in Maryland, and this is the first time since October 18th of 2020, but it gets better. New cases were under 50 for the first time since March 23rd of 2020, and 73.1% of our peeps have at least one dose of the shot. So, fantastic COVID news. The Annapolis Police Department is investigating the city's second murder of 2021. On Saturday, they were called to the West Winds Apartments in the 1000 block of Spa Road to check on a woman, Erica Benora, age 39. They found her deceased in her apartment suffering from upper body trauma, and her vehicle was missing. A bit later, police did spot the vehicle at Spa and Forest and started to pursue it. The pursuit ended in PG County when it did wreck into a tractor-trailer. The driver was sent to a hospital for treatment of his injuries. This is a person of interest, and the police have stopped short of calling him a suspect, and they are asking anybody that has any information to contact them at 410-260-3439, but they were very clear there is no ongoing threat. Up in Severn, the Anne Arundel County Police are investigating a fatal accident that claimed the life of Heather and David Wolcott, both 46 of Severn. They were traveling in their Honda southbound on Telegraph Road and for some reason crossed into oncoming traffic where they were hit head-on by a Chevy Suburban, which caught on fire and became fully engulfed very quickly. The driver and passenger of the Suburban were able to get out and were taken to Hopkins Burn Center and the R. Adams Cowley Shock Trauma Center. Aside from not keeping the car in the travel lane, police don't know what happened. They are still investigating. The Anne Arundel County Fire Department was on the scene of a small plane crash at the Lee Airport in Edgewater yesterday at about 12:30 p.m. A small two-seater plane botched a landing, skidded off the runway through a fence and onto Maryland Avenue. There was a fuel leak and a very small fire that was extinguished very quickly. Both people in the plane were uninjured, so that's the good news. And after the cleanup, the FAA is taking over the investigation to see exactly what happened. All right, enough of the yucky news. On Saturday at 10 a.m., the city of Annapolis will be dedicating the long overdue rehab of the Truxtun Park tennis courts and installation of pickleball courts. It's taken, if you can believe this, 4 years to complete, and the delay was caused by poor drainage requiring a French drain to be dug and installed around the courts. I'm guessing they may have used teaspoons to dig it. But now it is done. There are 8 tennis courts, 6 pickleball courts, and 2 hybrids. The ribbon cutting is open to the public on Saturday, and afterwards there will be a tennis versus pickleball exhibition match. And here's something for you to know. Mayor Buckley appointed an Annapolis pickleball ambassador. I'm not sure if this is a record, but the Bowie Baysox have lost their last 3 games in a row, and all of those games went into extra innings. I might have to look that statistic up and see. But that snippet does not tell the story of the Bowie Baysox. The Baysox are on fire this season. Currently, they lead the AA Northeast League with a 27-13 record, and you really ought to get out to Prince George's Stadium to see a few games this summer. The boys of summer never disappoint. The next homestand is a 6-game series beginning on Tuesday at 6:35. You can get your tickets at baysox.com, or I can make it easier for you. We're going to be giving away tickets here on the Daily News Brief all summer long. I'm picking them up a little bit later on today or possibly tomorrow, depending on how my day goes. So another great reason to listen and also to let your friends know. And as we begin to wrap it up for Monday, I have a great suggestion. Well, I have two great suggestions for your Friday evening. The first is the opening reception for Comacell Brown's latest art exhibition called Speak. Comacell, also known as Cell Spitfire, is a hugely talented and honestly a great guy that everyone needs to meet. He is in my Leadership Anne Arundel flagship class this year, but this exhibition is being held at MC3, which is at Park Place, from 6 to 9 p.m. on Friday. You can register for the reception at mc3annapolis.org, and that's the number 3, and I suggest you do. And another art exhibit the same night by another good friend, but no registration is needed. Paul Gillespie, the sole photographer of the Capitol, will be opening his Faces of the Capitol Gazette exhibition, which is a deeply moving exhibition with images of families, survivors, and folks that were working at the Capitol when the shooting occurred. It's a very powerful exhibit with very powerful photographer. Now, this is being held at the Michael E. Bush Library, the new Annapolis Library, on West Street, also from 6 to 9 p.m. And to be honest, the two locations are within an easy walk, and I hope to see you at one or both of them. Finally, I hope you caught the local business spotlight we dropped on Saturday with Anthony Clark and Sean Lynch and their fantastic accents. Man, how authentic can you get? And did you catch that little bit about the new deli coming to Maryland Avenue and the umbrella project that Anthony is working on? Sounds like some cool stuff going on over there at Maryland Avenue. And up this week, we check in with Constance Polamalu and Steve Samaras from Zachary's Jewelers. And remember, these business spotlights drop at noon every Saturday. And thank you for subscribing. Thank you for leaving us a rating or a review. We're getting more and more of them, so again, thank you. If you haven't, please take a moment and do. It really helps us grow, and it makes me feel good. Don't forget that you can now catch the Daily News Brief in a streaming format on Annapolis.fm or at WAKIRadio.com over on the Eastern Shore, so definitely check them out. All right, that's it for the news. But first, a quick thank you to the sponsor for this Daily News Brief, Solar Energy Services up in Millersville, and to the Kristi Neidhardt Team of Northrop Realty, a Long and Foster company, and Rehab to Perform, who will be opening up at 1750 Forest Drive very soon. All righty, it is Monday, so we have Ann Alsina from CovingtonAlsina with your Monday Money Report. And as always, George Young from DC MDVA Weather is here with your locally forecast weather. George, Ann, and all the rest are coming up in just about 60 seconds. But first, here's Rick.
Are you interested in an exciting career in one of the hottest industries of the next decade? At Solar Energy Services, we're currently hiring solar installers, crew leaders, service techs, and sales representatives with immediate needs in all categories. Are you feeling uninspired in your current job and want more meaningful work where you can make a positive impact every day? Do you like the idea of being part of the team that installs solar panels on residential rooftops, commercial rooftops, or ground-mounted arrays for entire communities to use? Or maybe you're a good troubleshooter and communicator who likes solving interesting technical problems. Whatever your preference, the upside of working in the solar industry is tremendous. Contact us today about joining a great company with a rewarding culture and an inspiring mission. Call us at 410-923-6090 or visit us at solarsaves.net.
Sunshine, sunshine, nothing else can make me feel so fine.
When you live near Annapolis, you know how fickle the weather can be. So you need a truly local forecast that's accurate and reliable. Forecast right here in Annapolis. DCMDVA weather is not just for today, but for the rest of the week and the weekend too. Now here's George Young of DCMDVA weather with the weather outlook for today and beyond.
Hey everyone, this is George with DCMDVA Weather, and this is your Eye on Annapolis forecast for Monday, June 21st. It was a typical summertime weekend for the Annapolis region, and the week ahead should bring more of the same, though we'll get another somewhat atypical sample of cooler weather midweek like we did last week. Look for hot, humid temps today in the upper 80s to lower 90s, with a chance of some PM showers and storms, followed by a much greater threat of rain tomorrow with temps in the low to mid 80s. Ahead of sunshine and 75 to 80 on Wednesday, with more sunny skies and 80 to 85 Thursday, before mid to upper 80s with more summertime storm rain chances Friday through Sunday. Okay, that's it for today. This is George Young of DC MDVA Weather. Make it a great day out there. Stay healthy and be safe. And be sure to get our free app on all of your devices by searching DC MDVA Weather in the Apple or Google App Stores. And also be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and use our website each day by visiting DCMDVAweather.com. mdvaweather.com, so you can always stay weather informed.
Another moving moment from Kristi Neidhardt of the Kristi Neidhardt Team from Northrop Realty, a Long and Foster company.
Going through a real estate home sale or purchase is a very personal and sometimes stressful experience. Hi, I'm Kristi Neidhardt. My team and I are committed to working with people both buying and selling homes in all price points. Whether it's giving you a competitive edge while buying a home or negotiating the best price and terms while selling your home, we always have our clients' best interest at heart. Our goal is to provide exceptional service so that you will recommend us to your friends and family over and over again. Serving people is a passion of mine, and it's what my team does best. That's the Neidhardt difference.
That's another moving moment from Kristi Neidhardt. To get in touch, call 410-295-6579 or visit kn-team.com. That's kn-team.com.
You work hard for your money. Is your money working hard for you? Managing and investing, it can be confusing. Ann Alsina, a financial planner from CovingtonAlsina, has been helping people make sense of it all for over 17 years. Are you ready? Now, here's your Monday Money Report.
This is Ann Alsina of CovingtonAlsina with your Monday Money Report. Last week, the markets were down. The Federal Reserve Bank Board of Governors, or the Fed, met last week as well. They signaled that they are a bit concerned about rising inflation and may raise rates sooner than originally planned, beginning as early as 2023 with 2 rate hikes. And if you have children, you're probably familiar with the witching hour. That time of day when you're trying to get dinner on the table and everyone is having a meltdown. This past Friday was a quadruple witching in the financial world. While some folks have likened the market to witchcraft, in this case there are no supernatural forces at work. A quadruple witching occurs when there is a simultaneous expiration of single stock options, single stock futures, stock index options, and stock futures. We are also looking at a rebalancing of some major index funds as they adjust their portfolios to realign with their corresponding index. So, what are options? An option can be a put or a call, which is the right to buy or sell a stock at a specified price at a future date. The option itself is not a stock or a bond, but more of a bet on the future price of a stock or bond. In some cases, these are great hedging strategies. I may buy the right to sell my stock for a lower price than it is currently worth. The idea is that if the stock declines, I can still salvage something. Options trading can also be extremely risky, with some of the bets exposing you to theoretically unlimited losses. In short, we had major moves in the market over a short period of time. The Fed announced a change in their planned interest rate moves. Options and futures are expiring, which means stocks are potentially trading hands. And we're seeing major sales and purchases from large index funds as they rebalance their portfolios. You may remember we say the market is rational in the long run. In the short run, we see these temporary impacts to stock prices. Your best bet is to stay the course on a long-term plan. If you've been taking our action items to heart and tracking your spending, your action to take this week is to continue writing down your spending, but also have a heart-to-heart conversation with yourself or your partner about your values and goals. If you want a second home or a first one, to retire early, to leave a legacy to children or the community, figure that out. What matters to you? We have more financial information and resources on our website at CovingtonAlsina.com and on our Facebook page. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA ICPC. Investment advice offered through Great Valley Advisor Group, a registered investment advisor. CovingtonAlsina and Great Valley Advisor Group are separate entities from LPL Financial. All performance is referenced as historical and is no guarantee of future results. All indices are unmanaged and may not be invested into directly. The opinions voiced in this show are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. To determine which strategies or investments may be appropriate for you, consult with your attorney, accountant, and financial advisor or tax advisor prior to investing. And if you don't have a financial advisor, come talk to us. This is Ann Alsina with CovingtonAlsina.
Are you an active adult or competitive athlete dealing with an injury keeping you from being at your best? Then Rehab to Perform is here to get you back to your full potential. R2P is a unique fitness-focused physical therapy company with 4 locations in Maryland. More like a training room and a personal training studio than a medical facility. R2P offers physical therapy for lower back pain, overuse injuries, post-surgery, muscle pulls, chronic pain, and more. R2P also offers rehabilitation for concussions and mild traumatic brain injuries. To learn more, visit rehab2perform.com.
You've been listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Tell your friends and colleagues, this is the podcast where you can keep up on the latest with what's going on in Annapolis and Anne Arundel County. And don't forget about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find even more information. And make sure you follow us on Facebook at All Annapolis and on Twitter at Eye on Annapolis. This Daily News Brief podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 6 a.m.